Good evening, boys and girls. On tonight's episode of The Country Teacher, we're going to discuss dividing decimals, or as my girls like to call it, the flippers. They call it the flippers because there's some flipping and some flopping going on when it comes to dividing decimals. Okay, first things first, we have here our whole number divided by a fraction, which is 5 divided by 1/3. This time, the first time we're going to do this, we're not going to use any models. We're just going to do the simple math. Now, the first thing, there's some 3 rules that I have for dividing decimals. The first rule is I have to make all of my whole numbers a simple fraction. So this simple fraction is going to be improper. It's going to be 5 over 1, because 5 over 1 is the exact same thing as 5, because if you divide 5 by 1, you get 5. So then, instead of multiplying or dividing here, we're going to flip this one here. This is why my girls call it the flippers. You're going to flip this fraction over and make it 1/5. And then the third rule says instead of me dividing, I'm going to use what they call inverse operations. Inverse operations means I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I came here to do, which is to divide. I came here to divide, but instead I'm going to multiply. Remember, I flipped this one and I turned it into 1/5, and then I'm going to multiply, and I get 1/15. So 5 divided by 1/3 is 15. Now, how did I get this? I actually used the whole number and I turned it into an improper fraction. Then I flipped it and I made it 1/5, and then I did my inverse operations, which is to multiply instead of divide, and I got 1/15. So 5 divided by 1/3 is 1/15. Now, there really isn't a lot you can do to check it, but we'll try. So 15 over 3. 15 is 1/3 is bigger than 1/15, because when you divide, boys and girls, you're making it smaller. You're dividing. If you have a whole pizza by 5 pieces and I need to divide it into 1/3, I'm going to have less than what you would normally have if I were to multiply it. So I'm not making more, I'm dividing it, which makes it less. So this is the way I actually I check it and make sure that 1/3 is bigger than 1/15. I just checked it with the butterfly method and it is correct. So my answer is going to be 1/115. Let's practice some more of these tonight. And remember that if you think you have it, then make sure you show someone else.